Yay, 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 yay. And it's Donna. Sorry I'm late. A visual agenda, huh? Donna and Maureen, I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
late.
okay.
I am so late.
You and me need to stop letting other people
So
Mm.
how is it going?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay.
There we go. Miss Lisa, I have to send you an extra special thank you.
Yeah.
You were on my drive to and from my event. So got to know the lady in the blue hair, and I want to go to Hawaii. And I want to meet Miss Bell and Miss Kai.
Oh,
It's
you
neat
listened to the audiobook?
I listened to it on audio and I loved it. I was so in
Oh.
love with it. I'm like, and the whole time I'm picturing you and Jeff. And I'm like, this is so cool. So it was nice to have a friend in the car while I'm driving, trying to outrun a rainstorm and everything else. But it was really, really good. And then I listened to it again to try to get the nuggets of the bullet points of the whole lesson of it. And it was just fabulous. I
He
mean,
he was much better at the performance than I was.
what you did very well. You did very well. I mean,
He's got
if
a
it
he's
was
got a the deep, sexy Texas thing going on.
But I loved it because I knew the voice. I knew your voice and I knew his voice. So it made it extra special for me knowing that, oh, I've met this person. So
Oh, that's
very cute and
awesome.
comical. I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it.
Oh,
So
I'm so glad you liked it. You should post or something, or maybe do the
I will,
review, because Jeff would lose his mind. He'd be so happy. Because
yeah.
he would, yeah, he would. Because we actually got that direction from Doug Crow, who's another member of the Go Giver Success Alliance, because Jeff and I hadn't really thought that much about doing the Audible. And
Oh, I'm
Doug
glad you
Crow,
did.
he sent us all these statistics about how that's the fastest growing segment and all that stuff over books and Kindle. That is the Audible. So we did it on Doug's say so. And of course, he dragged me down that road kicking and screaming. But we
But your
managed it.
personalities, yeah. Your personalities shone through. And I could see if it was done like a script or a play or something like that, I could so see you saying it and doing it and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, this is just so cute. So I had to tell you.
We had, yeah,
So
I had to do a few different takes on some of it just because you know what it is? It wasn't that I believe the story, I like the story, all of that is good. It's just that Jeff wrote the story and I didn't want to disappoint him with my performance. I think that was
no,
it.
no, I don't
You know
think
what
you
I mean?
could because I really felt that your personality came out
Oh,
in it.
good.
And a matter of fact, I was like, Lisa, come on, there's more here to Lisa. There's more here to there's more here to Belle and Kai, and I could see you in both roles. And
Oh, and you know, when I first read it, I wasn't sure which direction he was going. I wasn't sure which one he was basing it on. So
yeah,
what he likes to say is there's some of both of us in all the characters.
that's
That's
right. It's very true.
that's
It's very
awesome.
true. So
That's
Yeah.
5 stars.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah,
And hey,
absolutely.
Janelle's a brand new SendOutCards account
I
person.
keep going,
Hey.
Janelle.
Thank you,
So
Janelle.
yeah, I want to learn more about it and all. So
Oh, it's
how
a
it's all
great,
done and all
great.
the other jazz.
I want to show you this awesome postcard I got from Maureen, how she's using it in her Avon business. I love this idea. This is the sweepstakes JPEG on the front. And then it says, did you know Avon has a monthly sweepstakes you can enter? No purchase necessary. Just scan the QR code below, and the QR code goes to her Avon website. Correct?
Cool.
Oh,
Really
nice.
cool.
Does that go right to the sweepstakes or to your site?
It goes right to the sweepstakes.
Nice. That is
Good
perfect.
idea.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. So how did you decide who to send the postcards to?
I send it to everybody.
So your customers or
My customers, my friends, my neighbors, strangers.
And you know
I
what? Because Maureen's
I learned something from Lisa a long time ago. Sorry, Lisa,
not bad.
to learn how to reverse addresses. So sometimes I'll put in my address and I'll do a reverse address on white pages and I'll get
Get your neighbors.
surrounding areas around me because we got a lot of new people moving into my area, and I'll just send them a postcard. The other one, Janelle, that I sent out too, at one point was the "We want you back."
Oh, I like that. Oh, look at that with Emily Stevens. That's nice.
Yeah.
Earned for zero, earned point. That's nice. And that was not that much work because that you pulled that JPEG off of Avon.
Mhm.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Mhm.
And you know, one of the things that the thing I'm not sure if you found it or not, but and you may not have done it. I didn't look to see because when you're first new, you don't realize what I think a difference it would make. But if you start using SendOutCards and you use it a lot, they have subscriptions, and one of them, the 97, you can send. It says unlimited, but it's like 25 a day,
Mhm.
and it's
Oh, wow.
included.
Yeah.
So that's how like Maureen and me and a bunch of other people that are on the unlimited, you can send a bunch, like I send five different ones. So I send five of this one, five of that one, and it can be a postcard or a flat card. It can be any of them. The only one that would be extra would be the big card, but
Okay.
you can send so many a day and it's included. So we just make a list and then tackle a list a few a day, and you'd be surprised how fast you can get through a big list doing 5, 6 a day. You'd be surprised.
Because like we talked the other day on the Avon meeting, it's like I'm trying to think of different ways to get my name out there because I know there's other Avon reps here in my area that I know when people find out I'm selling Avon, I mean, even strangers, they'll say, "Oh, I've been looking for an Avon lady." So it's like the other ladies aren't really out there promoting themselves.
And matter of fact, that's perfect
Yeah.
because that most of them aren't. That's the
Yeah.
problem. Most of them aren't. You can easily set yourself apart just with even minimal effort, and then you can make a bunch of money if you put some real effort into it. Because that's what happened to me. I'm not smarter. I don't know more about the products, none of that stuff, but I end up doing better than everybody around me just because they're not doing anything and it makes me look like a superstar.
Yeah.
That's always helpful.
And I'm like I said, I'm trying to think of all the different ways that hey, how can I get my name out there?
No, that's
So
perfect. Start yourself a notebook. Because I do that too. So I'm getting more serious about send out cards and prompting, so I've started a new notebook. Yay! And now I'm going to the Monday meetings and stuff. So I've already been to, over the years, I've been to a bunch of their rallies and conventions and all that stuff, but I'm getting more into it because I like it more and more. And so I took a whole bunch of page of notes on Monday because I went to their meeting, and it's always been true. I've always liked to go to their stuff because no matter what my core business is, my main money earner, which right this moment happens to be Avon, I can use no matter whose company I go to their stuff, no matter whose convention or whose rally I go to, all it takes is me to convert that idea to an Avon idea. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's a no lose situation for me to get more involved over there at Send Out Cards, and I just like what they're doing enough that I want to get more involved. But it's like yes, more stuff. So matter of fact,
are
one of
you
my
going to
new
share all
buddies.
those notes with us?
I'm not sure the notes would mean that much to everybody, um, because it for me, I don't know about you, but it only a lot of the stuff only resonates because I was sitting there listening and it triggered something and I wrote, you know what I mean? Like little things like they've got a new offer at Send Out Cards where you can do 10 cards over 20 days for $20. That's like a new offer to get people to try it.
Mm.
And I liked the fact that they call one of the people on the call on Rally with Callie called it introductory offer, and that's in my notes. So I mean, it's not earth-shattering stuff I'm writing there. It's anything that even I might use later, or I might use because I like the way they said it, or it's stuff like that. It's not earth-shattering stuff.
So is it a total of 10 cards, or is it 10 cards for like 20 days of 10 cards each day?
Over the span, you can do all 20 in the first day if you want to. But
Okay.
it's actually not the cheapest way to do it anyway. It's more for like a brand new. So when you signed in, did you did you do a pay as you go? Is that what you signed up for?
I haven't done anything yet because I was trying to decide
Oh, okay.
how to do it and which
Because
one would be best
I
for
know
me.
I know you opened an account, so
Yeah.
that's all because they sent me an email. But you can do it's 10 cards over 20 days for $20, and that
Okay.
includes the postage, right, Michelle? I'm pretty sure that includes the whole thing. That includes the postage and everything. So you
Mhm.
can space them out or do them all at once or whatever you want to do. It's more like sampling. Say I was gonna say sampling the buffet, but right. Yeah. Right. But it's a sampling of the situation where if you haven't sent any cards yet or received cards so you know what they look like, you're less likely to want to get a package or something. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So that
Yeah.
probably would be a good one for you. Have you gotten any cards from me yet?
Yeah, it's over here somewhere in my stack. Okay, there's the envelope. Oh, let me put my phone down so I can.
Okay.
There it is. Yep, I got this one.
Oh, nice. Because you got a door
So
prize. Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah,
And for everybody else that could you hold the card up there? What I'm working on is steering my Avon business so that I can survive when I have no employees. Because I've had an employee assistant for the last 25 years, and now she's 68. She's the last one. I've had usually I had one full-time, two part-time, and they were doing all this stuff for me, this admin stuff. And I'm trying to get away from that and trying to find ways to make sure I can handle that on my own. One of the things that she did is I send out anywhere from 4 to 6 door prizes every Tuesday. And I pick the stuff out, but she ships it for me. So to stop doing that, I need to have some kind of thing in mind. So what I'll do is instead do brownies instead. And I
and
designed
those brownies are good.
aren't they good?
Oh, very.
Their most sold item. And they've been I think they had the brownies from the very beginning having the gifts. They didn't always have gifts, but from the beginning of the gifts, the brownies were the first thing they had. And I haven't had anybody say, you know what, don't send me brownies anymore. Keep your brownies.
Yeah.
No,
I
everybody
did
likes
let my husband have one bite.
one bite. Let me cut you off a quarter, honey.
Yeah. But thankfully he's not a big sweet eater. So
Right.
yeah,
I
so
don't even
whenever there's sweets, guess who eats all of them?
Yeah, that's the greatness of being single, having a democracy. Not a democracy up here, it's a dictatorship. Somebody send me brownies, I'm getting the brownies. You know what I have to do so I don't like eat them all the minute I get them is I freeze it. I cut it up and then freeze it. Because it's harder to eat them with frozen.
That's a good idea, though. I'd figure out some way to eat them even frozen.
It just takes longer, that's all. So anyway, let's talk about the Facebook espionage because this is one of the things that I've done since the beginning of Facebook, at least. Matter of fact, I think I've done SendOutCards longer than I've done Facebook, or they're close, one of the two. But it's because I've done SendOutCards probably 15 years now, maybe more. And Facebook's probably about that same thing, isn't it? But anyway, so the idea is when the company presents it like prompting. So when you think of somebody or somebody crosses your mind, you send them a card. And for me, that usually happens if I'm scrolling the feed on Facebook. I'll see somebody's picture they posted, or they're talking about their birthday coming up, or they're on a trip. and I'll pull pictures and put it on a card and send it to them. And matter of fact, I got one here from one of my new send out card buddies. Michelle knows him. It's Shorty. I hate calling him Shorty though. I call yeah,
He's a character, I'm telling you.
Matt Wells.
There's no
Shorty.
filter on that guy.
He's funny. He's funny though. But I like his enthusiasm.
Oh yeah.
He's all, yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we send each other cards because I met him when I was in Salt Lake. So anybody that ends up being in my bubble, they're gonna get cards. So he sent me the one where I was wearing the award out at the garbage can. And he wrote, "You're cracking me up. I love it." And he has his own, that's his handwriting font.
Yep.
So we all have our handwriting font. And you can get that, Janelle. It's a form that you pull off the site. And once you submit it and you pay for it one time, you get to use it from then on. So like I turned my handwriting font in, I think 14 years ago or something like that. It was right near the beginning, and I only had to pay one time, and I have my own handwriting font in the system. And matter of fact, they recently did it so that my font selection is right at the top of the list. It used to be at the
Yes.
bottom. So I'm
Yes.
very happy about that because I like to use it all the time. But so for the people that there are people that go, I think it's so much better to have a handwritten card. This is a handwriting, you're writing it, but it's doable in bigger quantities. Because
Yeah.
if you're dealing with a big network of people, I think it's unrealistic to think you're going to handwrite all the cards. I
The
think
additional beauty of it, sorry to interrupt. I've had a couple people that I've sent postcard or even a flat card. It doesn't matter, but usually postcard. And they're like, well, it was smeared right through the middle of it. I'm like, okay, no worries. And I sent them another one and they're like, how'd you do that? I thought you hand wrote the card. I'm like, well, sort of. It was done by a machine. So to give Janelle to give and anybody to give you hope, if Janelle just signed up, when did she hear about it before? I had never heard of SendOutCards, and I was in the Greener Still thing, what was it, 2.5 years ago when it was in January. And I had never heard about it. So I'm not the newbie, but I'm still new at sending and understanding, but making lots of new friends through the SendOutCards system and just absolutely love it. And then getting to go to Salt Lake for the event they had a couple years ago in November, the leadership thing, whatever it was, when they were switching a bunch of stuff up. But I had never met anybody in the group. I mean, and as much network marketing and everything else that I've been in, and all these different things I've dabbled in, I have yet to meet anybody that has been in a different company that uses SendOutCards. So then when I'm at this event, I was in a company called Blessings Unlimited years ago. Now it's called Mary and Martha. And while I was at the event and they were showing us how things are printed, there's this card going by. And I'm like, I know the face on that card. And I picked up the card and it was they had extras. And it was one of the gals from the Mary and Martha group that I knew who was one and still is one of the top line leaders. So it was like, wow, she even uses this, So I sent her the card. I sent her own. I actually posted it myself, but I sent her own card back. And I'm like, just wanted you to know I was touring the corporate headquarters for SendOutCards when I saw your card go through, and it was a system send because she was sending a bunch of them. Yeah, and it was just like, yeah, it was just so cool, And there's always, if you haven't, you think that it's saturated, the market saturated or anything. It's not.
Oh no.
I send them to people, all the time. I've taken a break for a little bit to try to get a few other things together. But I've sent them to different people. And they're like, oh, have you gotten a card from Michelle yet? I'm going, what?
Even people that are using SendOutCards, you even can do, it's just like the Avon thing where we were saying there's a bunch of people around. It's not going to be saturated because even if there's a bunch in, you can just do a little bit extra and you stand out because that's always the way it is. There's a bunch of people that join and don't do that much with it. It's always.
I was a Tupperware lady back in 2000. I was big into Tupperware, and then it was just kind of dwindled. But I still have people. Hey, I have this broken in Tupperware. Do you know anybody? well, I might have it here, or I do have contacts, you know, and that's a good referral out to other people. And I told you in April when I was helping somebody with their taxes, and when we went to the accountant, there was an Avon Ladies book, and I immediately thought of Lisa. I was like, well, here you go. And I hadn't seen an Avon book, I know, in at least 10 years. And that's
Wow.
sad, you know, and that right around this community where I am, I think our town is 13,000 and Cape is 38 or 40. So there's about 58,000 people,
I bet you
just
there's a
people.
whole bunch of reps there and they're just not making an effort to make sure everyone knows what they're doing.
That's right.
That's the way it is. Yeah, and it's funny because the same ones that aren't doing that. Remember Janelle on our call on Tuesday, rule number one, right? You
Yeah.
can be successful in anything if enough people know what you do. They're not getting people to know what they do. They're staying home and
Right.
saying, I gave out 5 books, but no one called me. And then they're thinking that's gonna do it. And it's got to be 5 books today and 5 more tomorrow and 5 more the next day, and you have to follow up with them. It's a whole thing. And I
Right.
think people think it's gonna. I had a rep on my team message me yesterday, and she said, I only signed up because I thought Avon would sell itself. How
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
how is that even possible? How is
Oh,
that even
my.
possible? You get in,
Yeah.
and then she said, I thought I could make a bunch of money not doing anything. How is that? Is that even possible ever? Anything? There's no.
Anything.
I said
Yeah.
that isn't true about
It's
anything.
it's
including that.
network marketing, not net wish marketing.
Yeah.
Network
Oh, that's
marketing.
good.
That's
I
right.
like that. That's a good one.
That's right.
If you could just get paid for doing nothing, everyone would do that. Right. And plus, you know what? I think that people underestimate how good it feels to
Mhm.
work really hard and get a bunch of money because of
Mhm.
your own work. I mean, I go out on my yard over by the swing set, look back at my big house that Avon bought or that I bought with my Avon money, and I beat my chest and roar. I mean, there's nothing like that feeling. If someone gave me the house, it wouldn't feel as good. I did this, you know what I mean, with a lot of help, but I did this,
Mhm.
and I like that way better. I don't even want to inherit money or win the lottery. This was so much better than that that I think that's an underestimated awesomeness.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. Like when you win your first car, you know, when they do the car bonuses or things like that. Yeah, and again, I go back to my Tupperware days, and I totally bypassed the car and went straight to the van. And I
oh
went,
yeah.
"What? You qualified for the van?" I went, "What?" And it wasn't me. It was the whole team effort that raised me to the level to where I could be
Yeah.
that manager and got that van. And I was like, "What?" And it's like, "Well, who's driving?" I'm like, "Well, I am. Hello."
Well, you know what's funny? Jeff and I are going to talk about tonight consistency again because we talk about that all the time.
Mhm.
He said that's how he knew he and I were kindred spirits in business because consistency is like everything. And it's so funny how few people are willing to be consistent when it comes to their business. They'll do it for a week or a month or even a couple months, but then somehow it trails off their effort. And they're
Mhm.
not realizing that all they'd have to do is have a small thing that consistently gets done year in, year out, and they
I
would
get
be.
sidetracked.
But see that it's a skill. I mean, I do too. It's a skill. So when you get sidetracked, you just have to make the time, um, the ability to get back to it shorter and shorter.
Mhm.
I get sidetracked too, and I get off on tangents too. And I just keep saying, well, wait a minute, back to the thing. And you know what does it
Mhm.
for me is I make a list. I go back to my checklist, go back to the list. So if I get sidetracked from doing my 5 cards, for example, my 5 cards of this, 5 cards of that, what I'll do is when I go to bed the night before, I take so that this is one of my lists that I'm working. This is the actually for the autograph card for my downline members that are going to convention, right? I'm sending 5 a day, and I'm down to the where I have to look up the addresses because I don't have what I have in my SendOutCards database is if they're President's Club or above or in leadership in any role, or if they're my first generation. So now I've got a bunch of people that are in my second through the 10th that are not big performers that are going to convention. So I have to look up their addresses to be able to put them in my database because they're not in there yet. So I'm doing 5 a day. And by the way, I'm including their birthdays because they wouldn't have got a birthday cards through SendOutCards in their birthday as my downline member if they weren't President's Club or above or in leadership. So now they're going to be in the system. But my way of thinking is these are probably high potential people because they're spending money to go to our convention. They're worth putting in. So I'm putting five a day, and I've got quite a few to go. So, but I keep this so if I get off track and I miss a day, what I'll do is I have my list that I work right here on the side. When I shut my laptop lid, I'll take the list and put it on the laptop lid. So I know when I open the lid in the morning, I have to touch them. I have to move them. And it'll remind me, hey, what are you doing? You know what I mean? That's why there's only 5 because it makes it easy to do. So if I get on here like 11:30 at night and I haven't done them yet, I could still get it done before midnight, still say I was consistent with that day. So you have to make it like hard to
Lisa,
be consistent, I guess.
Do you contact those folks on your list, your second generation, or anybody to see if they are going to the convention? And do they let you know if
There's
they
a
are going?
report. There's a report through Avon.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and matter of fact, there's a trick to the report at Avon is in Vibe, when you pull a report, you have to actually pull the one that's Excel, the Excel report. If you
Okay.
do the PDF, it doesn't tell you whether they're virtual or in person.
Okay.
The Excel one tells you it's in person or virtual.
Yeah,
So,
I wish I
Okay.
was going to in person, but I'm just thankful I get to go to the virtual one.
no, that's good. And then, matter of fact, on our team, there's many, many, many people that are doing virtual. Nothing wrong with that at all. I hope you got the option with the goodie bag though, because that's going to pay
Yes.
for itself. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
all you'd have to do is sell some of the stuff and pay for itself. What were you going to say, Maureen?
I want to show you my 4th of July card.
Oh, how cute.
Oh, that is
And
so
then-
cute. The kitty. Oh, and a word search. Love the word search.
Okay, and then a
Awesome.
song,
Oh, nice.
the Fill the Sky song.
I haven't put, I drooled. I was so happy to have a new idea. I have never put a song lyrics in.
Yep. And then
That's awesome.
cartoons.
A cartoon, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
the meme. Yeah.
And then 2 recipes.
Oh,
That's
nice.
Oh,
That's
cool.
And
great.
Janelle, what I do on the back sometimes is I put a product.
Yay. Made
Nice.
with laughter. I like
Now-
that too. Made with love
So-
and laughter.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Janelle.
So you get to like choose what all you want to include.
Yes,
the
you can
card?
put anything. As long as it's a JPEG, you can put it in, or I mean, for pictures, it has to be JPEG. You can put anything you want in. So if there's something that you want, all you'd have to do, like if you saw it on Facebook or whatever, either save it as a JPEG or do a screenshot and crop it down so it's what you want.
Okay.
So
And
you
then
could
here's
do
my new
virtually
birthday
anything.
card.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
And
I
then
hadn't thought
again,
about song lyrics. You've changed my world, Maureen. Song lyrics. I'm so happy about song lyrics. You know
Yep.
what? I had put a poem before because one of the Go Giver Success guys writes poetry, and every time he posts one, he does long ones too. He'll put a long one there, and he has a picture with it. So I'll put the picture on the front and then do the I have to chop it up because his is so long. So I thought about a poem in the card, but I hadn't thought about song lyrics. Oh, that's perfect.
and you know what else I thought about, Lisa, the other day
What?
was the books that used to be really popular. On this day, the
Oh,
day
yes.
I was thinking about looking stuff up
Yes, for
I
the
mean-
oh, that is good.
and say, on the day you were born in blah blah blah,
Yeah.
this happened. So I was thinking
That'd
about
be
doing
good to
that.
that'd be good to easy to find out on Google too. That'd be awesome. Oh,
And then I just want to show the last one I do, Janelle.
Okay.
I am a very overthinker. I am the president and vice president and everything, the CEO of Overthinkers Anonymous. And one of the things I'm very good at saying is, I don't know how to do this. Well, in my marketing course that I've been in for a couple of years, she has taught me to say, I don't know how to do this yet.
I love it. So you sent
So-
yourself yet.
I set myself yet, and it sits right on my by my laptop so I can see it when I'm training. And you know what I did the other day, Lisa? I taught myself Chat GPT.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It took me 5 hours, but I did it, and I made my
Wow.
graphics in Canva, and I did it all because I was like, I'm not gonna let it beat me.
That's awesome. Yeah, and oh, and you can mail cards to yourself. I know at first I didn't think about that either. So
Oh,
the
you
next
can?
time, yeah, the next time you need like my kid just graduated from high school and we had the graduation picture, instead of buying them from the photographer that took them, I bought just because they're like $100 for the 8x10 or $69.95 or whatever it was. I bought the JPEG from him instead, and then I put it on the front of the card and sent it to myself. So the picture cost me $1.50.
Oh, wow.
Right. So for big pictures, or even like a flat card is a 5x7. So if you open a 2-panel the other way, it's a 4x6. So you could print your pictures that way easier and cheaper than going and printing them yourself on your own printer. It would use more money and ink than it would to have you send the card to yourself.
Mhm.
That's a good idea.
Were you gonna say something, Marie?
No, I was just saying,
No, your box lit up. Oh, that didn't sound good, did it? Oh, goodness sakes. Okay, so here's a couple of my Eunice is laughing. Here's a couple of my Facebook espionages that were sent to me. This is Bo Dog,
Oh,
and that's from Scott, Easter Day. We call each other last names, I guess, like we're like military or something. That's from Easter Day. Yeah, I've been trying to do the last one I did was I wore the medal at the dentist.
I saw that. That's
I
cute.
I gotta find some more stuff. You know what's funny is if you follow along long enough, you'll see me do stuff over again. The last time, and it doesn't always dawn on me that I'm doing it over again, but when I first started promoting getting the award, I didn't realize that I was doing a lot of the same things I did when I made platinum at Avon, because I went wild talking about that for months. And I thought, oh, wait a minute, this is what I did before, because somebody else brought it up to me. So then I went back to my post from before, and then I realized, oh, you know what? I did the street sign and I did the plane with it on it. So then I went and made a bunch of those. So once I realize I did something once, I go back and can do it again for another project. Anyway, this one I got from Joanne, who's on the call right now. The Many Faces of Grammy. This is funny. Her eating. She gets so mad like that. She's eating her food. That's funny. This is funny. I really appreciate that, Joanne. Thank you so much. I love her back panel too. Her back panel is awesome. That's one of my favorite graphics, the SendOutCards one.
Mhm.
Yeah, they like us to call it promptings now because they changed the company's name, but I even call all my friends their maiden name, so there's no chance of me doing changing that. Don't you do that too, Michelle? Right.
It was too confusing because it was like when I came in, it was greener still, which was the thing of getting all of these. And
Things
then
in
it was just
one.
like it never gelled. And they realized that by the end of that year that it never just totally gelled and caught on. So then they finally, were getting brilliant. It was like promptings. It's like, well, that makes sense. Promptings is the main thing. SendOutCards is the main device. And then
Driver.
there's these other avenues of income that can come from it as well. And it'll always be SendOutCards, but promptings is the main course of what the essence of the company is. And it's I forget who it was. It was probably Jordan that says why they never did that in the first place. You know, it's like, duh. It should have been because you'd say promptings and everybody knows exactly what you're talking about once you're in send out cards.
Well, we're
So,
right. This one's from Joanne too. Yay! And this was
yay.
the metal. And that's so what I do with this, okay. I try to explain the idea from the start. Okay, so the first time that I did, let's see, was it the first time I did this? I think so. When we did the play last year. We did a play starting in January last year called The Pine Tree Riot. And it was because my property's on the land where the Pine Tree Riot happened in the Revolutionary War. Now, for a practical reason, I was producing that play and I didn't know it at the time. I didn't even know what producer meant. But anyway, I was trying to make it a good experience for everybody so they wouldn't quit. And that's a skill I use for Avon or any other direct selling company because where they're volunteers, they wander off. So you want to make it a good experience. So one of my strategies is to call everybody by their name. That sounds pretty easy, but when you have 30 brand new people that all of a sudden I'm dealing with for 7 weeks to do that play last year. So the strategy was for me to be able to learn their names. I had them hold up their binder, and everybody's binder with the script in it had their name and then their character underneath it. So then I had their face, their name, and their character, and everybody had a picture just like this one last year. And then what happened was I used those to promote the play, which worked out
wow.
fabulous. And the reason I chose to do that is because if I just put a generic, I made every single person that was in the play a separate post with their picture so that when I tagged them in it, it went on their wall. So I wasn't waiting for them to help me do the promotion. They were getting the promotion whether they wanted it or not because they got tagged in it, right? So then when I moved on, we did the play. It was really successful. It was awesome. Then I went on and did the project with Jeff, the book, Said the Lady with the Blue Hair. And I thought there's something that I could do kind of similar to this for the people that wrote endorsements for the book. I'll make everybody their own separate like ad thing, and I'll put instead of just said the lady with the blue air.com and it's all about us, what I'll have is the quote for the book, the endorsement for sure, and them, but underneath their information. So it'll drive business to them. And then they'll be more apt to spread it around because it's driving business back to them. So I originally got that idea from the play, trying to memorize the names of the people so that they'd have a good experience when they came over. And then I used that idea again when I did the book for the endorsements. So now we're back doing the second play. So we're back doing the pictures with the thing. Anything that worked once, I'm willing to I'm willing to work it again. So this time it's 30 people again, but there's a bunch that weren't in yet last year's play. So I still have to memorize them. I still have to get it. So it's just funny because now everybody's used to me asking for stuff they don't understand why. Here we go. So, but anyway, that's that. So I guess the reason I want to explain that to you is because when you're solving a problem that you're doing, for one thing, think about the tools that you have available to you, including SendOutCards. That's one of my main tools that I solve my problems with. So when I was thinking, how am I going to memorize 30 people? Wait a minute, SendOutCards. I can put them on a card and have the cards here so I can look and memorize the people's name and their face. Okay. So it's all in your toolkit. So I could do SendOutCards and shuffle and whitepages.com. All those things I consider tools in the toolkit. Okay, here's another one I got. This one is because I was on this lady's this is Noelle Peterson. I was on her show and she actually signed up to do SendOutCards with me because when Jeff and I were on her show, I sent her a card. And they were on, Robert was on my show, her husband was on my show, Monday Madness, and I sent him a card and brownies as a thank you for being on my show as a guest. Now, he said they've been on a whole bunch of shows, and I was the first one to do that. Jeff said that too. He'd been on a bunch of shows promoting his other book, and I'm the first one that sent him a thank you card. So just think, a little thing like that can make you memorable. So Jeff actually said one of the reasons he came to me is because he felt that we were friends already because of little stuff like that. Little stuff like sending him a card because he came on my show made him feel like we were friends more than the other people in the group.
Yep.
Okay. So she got this idea because we were already doing this, and she sends these now to every guest that she has. So she has a graphic from the show. This is, of course, the book, mine and Jeff's book, and then her thank you thing. So that's cool. And then they have the show logo on the back.
Cool.
So lots of ways that can be used. And then this one, oh, this one was funny. I didn't understand what she meant by this. I got to ask her. This is the post I had, mailbox love, and I got a whole bunch of cards in one day. And this is Pam Heller, and she's a good friend of mine. I didn't ask her what she meant by this. Life is full of dimension. Does she mean I'm demented? That could be it. I don't know. I think she means full dimensional. I don't know, but that's awesome. Yeah, she had put more thought into you. That's one of the things I put in the description for today's thing. I'm apt to put something like, "Hey there, gorgeous," or "Love those smiles," or something that I know I would want to hear if I was getting a card. I don't necessarily take a lot of time thinking about what I'm going to write. I try to make it personal though, of course, but I like to put some small thing because I wanna have the ability to do the card fast, especially if I'm doing Facebook espionage, which we better do when it's already 10 of. Do you mind? Let's go.
Go.
Let's go do one. Okay, here we go. Let's go. That's sad when we go through a whole hour and don't do one. It's like, what? That's what we're supposed to be doing here. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can do it in a minute. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the account, but don't start the clock yet. I'm just going to open the account to make it quick, but we got to go over to Facebook to get a espionage going. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to go over to Facebook, get an espionage going. Are you familiar with what I mean by Facebook espionage, Janelle?
I think so. Just scroll through and find a picture,
Yes.
like meaningful picture.
So, so this is just my regular feed, and I'm going to look down and not do an ad. I'm going to find somebody who's got some kind of, ooh, I want to know what he had. Oh, no, this wasn't it. Jeff wrote something that I don't know what he means. He said he has big news about one of our favorite artists that he and I have in common. It's got to be Garth Brooks, but I don't know what the news is that he's got. I don't want to ask him too, because yeah, I want to find out what he's talking about. I'll have to wait till tonight. Okay, let's see. We're looking for. Ooh, look. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, Melinda, do I have her? Because that's a cute picture. Now let's see. Okay, so then I'm going to take the phone and see if I've got her. So there's an app on the phone. If you don't have that yet, Janelle, there's two apps. The first one is the card sending app, and it looks like a card in the App Store. And this one you can send cards with. And you also can look your contacts up in. So all of your contacts that are in SendOutCards are available for you on the phone. No, I don't have her, Melinda. I thought I might have her address, but I don't. Okay. To make it fast, I want to pick someone I have their address. Okay, let's see. Oh, I know her. Okay, I've got her for sure. A new foster. Lucia Jameson was Bo's foster mother, my dog. And
Aw.
I know. How I found out was now this is taking way more than a minute, sorry. Uh, this was one of those things though. So I'd had Bo a year and a half. He came with an envelope of stuff. I was
Mhm.
looking at the envelope a year and a half in. I was looking at the envelope. I noticed there was a vet paper. Yeah, let me go back here. There was a vet paper in there that had a lady's name on it. And I said, I wonder if that's somebody from the rescue or if that's the lady that found him on the street. And
Hmm.
that one actually was the lady that found him on the street. And I
Wow.
sent her a card and I said, I don't know if you're the one that found this dog on the street, but if you are, I wanted you to know how it turned out. That dog's
Oh,
got his own boy, and here's all these pictures of how happy the dog is. He's got his little
Oh,
lamb chop toy, and she was thrilled. And that's not Lucia. That's the one that found him. And then later I was posting that story in the group for the rescue, and this lady and a friend of this lady actually told me, she said, I know the lady that fostered Bo, and introduced me to this lady. So isn't that cool? And I keep in touch with all of them and send them Bo pictures because,
oh, that's sweet.
well, if I was a foster, they usually don't get to see
Mhm.
what happens. Usually
that's beautiful,
they don't get to
beautiful
see.
thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Unless
The
you're a
beautiful,
foster failure like I am.
yeah, the beautiful thing about espionage is, did it invoke an emotion in you when you read it? I mean, a deep, just, you go, oh, that's cute. No, did it tug at your heartstring real quick? And if it did, that's the one you got to send. That's
This
part of
is
the
the one.
prompting process, right?
Yes, this is
Because
definitely the one. Okay.
there's too many tendrils to that story not to send the card.
Yes, yes. And she'll love this. Okay, so now we're gonna go to that was the landing page. This is the page where you make the card. I'm just gonna go a regular card, so I'm gonna build your own. This is my go-to, by the way. The card will go on this one pretty good. I'm gonna do the up and down. I usually do flat card only because they can put it on the fridge easiest. That's the easiest one to put on the fridge. And I'll put next. And then you're going to get the screen where you can make the card. So then I'm just going to go grab the picture of the awesome dog. And oh, I don't know why that keeps coming up. Okay, so there we go. And it goes right there. Now I'm going to make it big so the picture doesn't have so much stuff in it. Just as a big giant picture of that awesome looking doggy. Look at that. Oh, so you
Mhm.
can click on it and move it around by like clicking and move it around. You can do that. This is the up and down of the image. You can do that. There's other things that you could do too, but that's what I'm going to do on this one. Okay. And then on the back, oh, what should we put? Um, I want to what I want to say is thank you for being an awesome foster mom. You're the best. And then I'm gonna put from Bo's mom. We love you. Oh, Molly's gonna be so proud of me. I'm hugging people and telling strangers I love them. Look at that. Okay. Oh, okay. So now I almost always put some kind of background on this. So here we go. Background. I wrote that right? Thank you for being awesome foster mom. You're the best. From Bo's mom, we love you. Okay. Because I usually read it over because I don't want to do a typo. So I usually put some kind of like little teeny color background like that, just to make it a little more interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. And then that's it. That would be the whole card. I think she's gonna like it. And then I try to think of what I'd like if I was her. That's what I do. Then you add the name and you can put any amount. Janelle, once you get people in, like I could use her zip code, her town. I'm just going to put her first name. because her last name, I don't always get it right. Oh, of course it doesn't have it because I didn't spell it right. It's Jameson, I know that. J. G-H-I-J, Lucy Jameson. Oh, okay, that's why, because on Facebook she has Lucia, but her actual name is Lucy. That's what it is. Okay, and then done, and then check out. And because I'm on a subscription, it's going to be included. So I'm actually not going to pay for this card over and above what I pay for the subscription. Not even the postage, it's included. And that's up to 25 a day. So I can send 25 a day and it's included in my 97.
Okay.
Okay. So that's a heck of a good deal as long as you stay after it. If you're only going to send a card a day, it's not going to be worth it. But if you stay after it and send a bunch of cards, it will be. Confirm and send, and that's it.
Now sorry,
No, go
can
ahead.
this be done like on a cell phone? Because that's where I do most of
Yes.
my stuff is through the cell phone. Okay.
Yes. Matter of fact, the app, to do an easy one like I just did, the app is perfect for that. The ones that are a little bit more involved where you want to do different stuff, those might be better done on the laptop if you want to get a little
Okay.
bit more involved. But the fast Facebook ones, almost all of my Facebook espionage ones are done on the phone.
Okay.
And they're done while I'm sitting around. I spent so much time waiting for soccer practice, theater practice, you name it. I've been sitting around waiting for it. My mother's doctor's appointments, all of that stuff. I sit in the waiting room instead of reading a magazine. I'm sending cards.
Mhm.
That's what I'm doing. Scrolling Facebook and sending a card when I see one like that one. So, and you know what, if you don't, what I do too is I intentionally look for people. I don't just do the ones in my feed. Like that one was someone in my feed and I love the story, and it like Michelle said, it gave me a jolt because I love the whole story of how she's connected to my dog that's at my house. And now if I'm thinking about a team member, I'll go look at her wall instead of relying on it showing up in my feed. If somebody pops into my mind for whatever reason, like on my team or one of my customers or whatever it is, I'll go intentionally look at their wall to see if they posted anything lately and send them one.
Mhm.
Okay. And the other one I send a lot of is people that interact with me. So like a lady came up to me at PetSmart and wanted an Avon book. Well, she obviously would get a card too because she interacted with me. The guy that came and did the pest control thing because I've got rats. No, the reason I've got I do have rats, but the reason I've got rats and have to get the pest guy is because the people around me free range feed their chickens.
Oh, yeah.
They throw the chicken feed out in the lawn. But I mean, I live out in the country. That's going to happen. But that gives the neighbors rats. So I have to have the pest guy. But I like the pest guy. He's really on top of it. He's out there always doing his thing. So he gave me his card one time, and that's all it took. I've got him on my database. I've got his birthday and everything. So people that interact with me. So even like the oil change guy, all those kind of people that interact with me, if I get their name or their phone or whatever it is and can look them up, they go in my database. And if I have an interaction with them, I'm sending them a card.
That's
So
what I learned from you. That's the one thing over the many months we've been doing this whole thing is that's the one thing I've learned from you. Because like with the construction people, I sent them the card. I just got done with something to do with my injury and I'm sending him a card. And you know, the adjuster that's helped me, I'm going to send him a card. And that's one thing I have learned is if they're in your orbit, you send them a card.
and you know why that helps your business? I mean, it's a good way to live just in general, but it helps your business because believe me, if the cabinet installation guy got a thank you card because of the work he did, he's probably never got one before in his life. If he hears somebody say, do you know anybody that sells Avon? He's going to be like, oh yeah, there's this chick that's I did the install and she sent me a thank you card. If she's that conscientious about workers, you know she's going to give you good service as a customer. See, that's the translation that people are going to get. So it is going to help your regular business. It's
Yeah.
not just, it's a great way to live anyway, but it is going to help your business too. You're going to be top of mind for everybody. So I try not just to be the best service provider, I try to be the best customer.
Mhm.
So like my plow guy, I try to be his best customer he's got. That way, if I need to call him and say, you know what, I'm coming home from the airport earlier than I thought and I'm snowed in. Do you mind, knocking it back so I can get to the garage? He comes right out and doesn't think anything of it because he said to me, he texted me and he said, "You're my best customer." And that's what I want is I want to be not just the best Avon rep or the best leader. I want to be the best customer someone has too, because that's how you get referrals and that's how you get your business bigger, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
So, Lisa, you said with the 90 some dollar one that it's 25 cards a day, correct?
it's called unlimited, but there is a limit of 25, and that's 25 heartfelt cards that are included. If you go over that, you just pay the group the price that would be. Do you know, Michelle, is there an easy way to show her the price difference right now? A chart?
I don't know right off the bat.
Yeah, and I don't either. Let me just look. There was a category for pricing and plans and packages. Thank you very much. Here we go. Okay. They both are good. The reason I gravitate towards this one is because of the unlimited. The 37 heartfelt is 20 heartfelt properties cards with the stamps included. I like the bigger one, of course, because I send a lot more, but this one is unlimited amount of heartfelt properties cards with stamps included. There is a limit of 25 a day though for heartfelt. It doesn't
Mhm.
say that, but that's true. And they call it the fair
Excuse
use
me.
fair
Excuse me.
use
Ooh.
policy. But the best part about the bigger plan, in my opinion, is the a system send. So a heartfelt card is an individual card that is unique, sent to one person, immediately sending it.
Okay.
A system send is either you're sending the same card to a bunch of people or you're sending it in a future date. So like I put in my birthdays for July already, and they're going to get sent out by SendOutCards, and they're going to arrive on the right date. I'm not going to be responsible for figuring that all out. Those are all system sends. And when you get a bigger package like this, see, it's only $1.50 for a system plus postage for a card, where on the smaller package, it's $1.75. So you save a quarter each on a system send card. So it's probably going to depend on how much you use it. So you can change packages anytime you want. So if you start using it and then start really using it a lot, you'll see what a difference a small thing like that can make. I send about 400 birthday cards a month. That 25 cents makes a big difference. You know what I mean? So if you look under the plans and packages under your account, you can see all the differences of the different things. But the 97 is the one that I think is the most popular that they have because of the unlimited card sends.
Okay, so I'm kind of confused about the difference between the heartfelt and the what was the
System send, a system.
Send.
Yeah.
A heartfelt is one that's going to come to mind that you're going to create yourself, or you're going to pick it out within with this. I need to send Lisa a birthday card. Boom, and you send it.
All the
Oh,
espionages are heartfelt. All the
yeah.
espionages are
Eunice is
heartfelt.
on the call, and you're like, I just saw this picture of Eunice on Facebook. I got to capture that and send that to her. And it's because it's in touch with your heart and your mind to send it.
Okay.
Whereas a system
And you're
send
sending it immediately.
yeah, and you're sending it
Yeah.
immediately. A system send might be, I'm going to send a bunch of birthday invitations. I'm going to send a bunch of
For a party.
graduation thank yous.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to send a bunch of these if Lisa chose to do so. even if it was in smaller form, I'm going to send a bunch of autograph cards to all of my Avon people
At once. Yeah.
at once.
Then
Or
it would
I've got
be,
all of these, yeah. Or as she said, I've got all of these birthday cards in the month of July, and I don't want to have to sit here every day in July and send out birthday cards. I can sit down one day and go, okay, I'm going to send all of these out, boom, 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 schedule it. And there's a way to schedule it in the back office. You hit click, done, and then it'll come up on the company's thing, 7 or 10 days prior to their birthday, boom,
and they
it's
do
going to
it.
send it out. It's going to send it out. It's going to send it
Okay.
out.
Okay, and that's $1.50 per card that you send out, then, correct?
That's with
On
the
the
big
on the
cards.
97 it is. On
Yeah.
the 97. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's talking about the system send price.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Lisa, it's Joanne. I know you're almost out of time.
Yeah.
I was in there the other day looking at packages, and I don't even know where I went, but they've got like other ones where you can, I don't know, you buy X amount to use up within 6 months or a
Mhm.
year, and
Mhm.
some of them were a lot cheaper, I thought. If you
They
could
are, you
afford
just have to,
do
right,
it
you
that
just have to give them the money ahead. It's a bigger amount of money and you
Yeah.
have to give them it
Right.
ahead. Yeah, but
It's-
you're
it's-
right, right.
It's a bulk order. So like, somebody's got a Christmas or an Easter or whatever coming up. Rather than doing X amount, they can buy bulk, and that can be heartfelt or system sends. They can buy X amount of cards for X amount of dollars, where Easy Math will say 500 cards for $500. And then as soon as they use that up, boom, they either need to buy another package or they'll go individually as they go over that. And it makes it much more economically friendly for them. And that could be system send cards or heartfelt cards, but you don't have the constraint of $97 a month and I need to do this within my 30 days. I need to do this in my 30 days. If I buy this $500 pack, now I've got 6 months to use it, or this 1,000 or 2,000 pack, and now I've got a year to use it.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Joanne?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you doing you're doing the 97?
Yeah, I'm on the 97.
Yeah, I'm not switching to the bulk buy and I do a lot of cards.
Yeah.
I'm not switching to the bulk buy.
Okay.
I mean, you may want to. It's just that's not. I'm not interested in forking over that much money all at once for starters.
Right.
Right, right.
Yeah. No, I'm actually happy with the 97. That works for me. It's working for me. You knew I was gonna say that. So
So with me starting out, then would you recommend the 90 some dollar one or the 30 some until I like get the swing of things?
that's up to you. I personally would do the 97, but that's you have to decide if you're going to be consistent with it. If you're going to consistently do this every day, send some cards every day and do the Facebook espionage every day, I would do the 97. If you're not sure you're going to do that, start with the smaller one until you see if you can do it or not, if you will.
Okay.
But you can always switch. You can switch
Right.
back and forth, up and down. It's not just one way. So you can
Okay.
do that for sure.
Okay.
I think
Yeah, I'm really working on consistency. I always think what you say, that consistency is the key. So whenever I want to get kind of sluggish on doing something, I
Well,
hear
that
your
would
voice
be
in my mind.
that's why the 97 might be a good idea because you'd be going like, well, I better get my money's worth. I got you know what I mean? I better get on there and do my heartfelt cards because I want to get my money's worth out of that. So, but that's totally up to you what you want to do. I think the important thing is just to be sending some cards because you're not going to see the benefit until you've sent some because you're not going to get feedback from most of the cards in person that you see. You're going to get the benefit from it, but you don't necessarily hear it or see it. It's going to take a while till you have some that say something. Because I don't know if you watch on my wall, you'll see somebody once in a while will say, oh, I got this great card. I love that. Like even the autograph cards, I probably have sent out now probably 75 of them, I think it is. I've seen 3 people post about it. But that doesn't bother me because I know the other 72 still liked it. They just didn't necessarily say something to me about it.
Or
So
you
you
may be
have
at the
to-
grocery store and all of a sudden somebody's coming up and giving you a hug and going, you don't know how much that card meant to me. And you're like,
Yeah, that's what
what did I
happens.
send her?
But it takes a while for you to get used to the idea. In my opinion, you may be able to get there faster than
Yes.
me, but it takes a while to get used to the idea that you have to separate yourself from expecting feedback.
Correct.
You have to just send for the sake of sending, and that's it. You have to not expect feedback, and that takes a while to get in your heart, I think.
And not to throw a negative Nelly at you, but the very first response I got back, I was cursed out for sending a card to somebody congratulating him on his new grandbaby. The guy that I went to school with, and he was like, "Do not send this." Da 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 da. Well, you threw it out on Facebook, honey. I sent it in a card, and he literally reamed me up
That
one
hasn't
side and down the
happened.
other, and I was like,
Yeah, that hasn't
"Okay, I'll
happened to me
never
yet,
send you
by the
another
way.
card, and everybody was like, "You got your first one out of the way. You got your bad one out of the way." I'm like, "Okay."
That hasn't actually happened to me yet. The only one I had was an Avon manager in Ireland, no less. This was the company closed in Ireland, quit doing business there, but she was in my database and got birthday cards. And when she got a card and my Avon thing was on the back, it made her cry and her husband cussed me out. And I said, well, I didn't know that would bother her. I'm still in Avon. I didn't know it would bother her that much to know that someone else was still in. So I quit doing that. But I think it's very rare that that happens, though.
It is.
Yeah, because I've actually sent out 80,000 cards, and that's the only one I could think of that I had somebody had a negative. But
And I had
anyway.
one about the address. How'd you find my address?
Oh yeah, the address.
So,
So yeah, but that's public information. People that think you can't find their address are
mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
That's what I'm
unrealistic.
always telling my mom. It's like, Mom, I can find out anything about you.
Yeah, whitepages.com, baby. Well, I will put this up on YouTube. Thank you all very much for spending this time. I really appreciate it. And hopefully you can jump on tonight and see Jeff squirm, because we all know how much I like making him blush. Thank
fun.
you. Thank you. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Lisa.
you.
Bye.
Have